Here.
Oh, we are on.
Yeah, we are
Hey,
on
we
video.
did it.
You told me that wasn't going to happen.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, but here we are. Yeah,
Awesome. Okay.
yeah. How are you?
So, okay, first off, where are you guys?
We are in Fiji,
In
in
Fiji.
Sabu Sabu. Yeah, we got here about a week ago. Is that right?
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah, a
a
little more,
little over here.
a little over a week, from Tonga. So
Okay.
we left the boat on the Heart in Tonga for cyclone season,
Mhm.
which just ended, and we took a trip out. I think we've been texting back and forth a little bit while we're in Australia and New Zealand. Anyway, we came back to Tonga, and as soon as we were at the boat yard, we said, schedule us into Splash. Because as you know, Reese, nothing kills the cruiser's dream faster than a boat yard.
Yes. Yes. And did you come back to any projects or
Oh, yeah, the
oh yeah.
list is long.
Well, we
So
only had a few before we needed to splash.
yeah, let me move over
Yeah,
here.
and
Yeah,
and
we
not, nothing
well,
too nothing too serious, I hope.
No,
no,
no, no,
no,
no.
no, no, no. But it's the typical stuff.
We put what is it? The yellow stuff on the prop.
Oh, prop
Oh, prop
speed and
speed. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, and we have a copper bottom, so we scuffed it up a little bit to kind of reactivate it,
Yeah.
grease the seacocks, things while we're out of the water make
Yeah.
sense to
we
address.
haven't been out of the water in 2 years, so
That's awesome
And,
though. That's good. You got that
and
stuff.
we're on a dock, which is also very new because the last time we were on a dock was Shelter Bay Marina in Panama 2 years ago.
Wow. You guys are gonna
Yeah,
go
so
soft.
yeah,
so there's a pool
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and a restaurant.
yeah.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
but that's not common for us. I mean, as you know, we try to do it on the down low, frugal and everything. So
That
yeah, this is luxury for us.
that's awesome. That is amazing. That's a long time without going to a dock. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how
So,
long ago,
so yes,
actually, how long was that? How long ago was that?
We left Panama in March of
23. Yeah,
23.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's over 2 years. And
Awesome.
yeah, normally, I mean, we go on anchor on a ball. So this is very very luxurious. And as soon as we were here, just like, oh, I can work on the bowsprit. So she's for the last couple of days, she's been sanding the bowsprit.
Because you can kind of
It
go
was
over the
the last.
dock.
Yeah. He pulls
Exactly.
it up and like
Yeah.
it was the last like really cruddy looking piece of bright work.
Nice.
You
Yeah, I've
probably
seen.
remember Reese when I was doing the delivery with you. She was working on the butterfly hatch.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
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 So yeah, we're here. This is the north part of Fiji. From Tonga was like 450 or so ish
We went
nautical miles,
fast.
and it was 3 days, which is very fast for us
Yeah.
because we prioritize obviously safety and comfort over speed, and this one was a little spicy. It was all downwind,
Well, a little lumpy,
a little
Yeah.
but
lumpy.
we got here fast.
It worked.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
How
so,
about how about you, Reed? Or
oh,
sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm good. I'm just coming back from a delivery to LA that took 3 weeks from Anacortes. Um,
Yeah, that's going the right way.
yeah. Well, that's what happens if you have to replace the transmission and the
Oh,
alternator, and
Oh,
the very last thing was the starter that gave out. So hopefully that was the most eventful delivery for a while. But it was a great bunch of people. Madison was on board,
yeah,
who you
yeah,
remember, and
yeah, yeah.
we got to spend some time catching up with John Palmer in Port Angeles, where he lives now. So we got kind of a reunion there. John is on the mend from an ankle surgery, so he couldn't come. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, so back to the islands and got to take another boat down the Washington coast in a week or so here.
Okay.
And then
What
maybe
was the delivery to LA? What type of boat? What vessel was she?
it was a Stevens 47.
Oh, okay.
80s Stevens 47 is sort of the precursor to the Hylas center cockpit boat and well thought of boat. And um,
Right.
Yeah, definitely it's hard to be involved. And I guess in this industry, you're always going to be involved with people becoming somewhat disenchanted with the boat thing so early on.
Yeah.
Spending a lot more money than they thought they were going to spend because of repairs and whatnot. So, um,
The boats we had looked at, um, we saw a little bit later,
ah,
Oh, yes.
and they sold it in like a year.
Yeah. No, I was already the second owner, and then they had sold it within a
Yeah,
year. That's
it
right.
was.
The boat was called. This was also in Anacortes, or
Yeah, it was
somewhere
no
that
new
area.
new
The
sensations.
boat was called New Sensation, and we, before we bought, Kadiwample, that was
It
on the list.
was a Titan
Yeah, it's hard.
Tartan
Yeah.
all right.
Anyway,
44.
they
Yeah.
change quickly, these owners, because exactly like you said, they're like, oh my God, this is a lot more work, and it's maintenance, and it's a lot of work. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons it's so great to know you guys because you guys actually followed through on this whole dream, and I
I
got to be
remember
there
you
early.
saying.
What?
Yeah, very early.
Exactly. No, I remember you saying when we were done with the delivery, I think we were in Astoria, and you're like, I think you guys are going to do it. And I was like, why would we not? And then I didn't even think about not doing it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, in fact, my biggest fear has always been people are like, oh, you're scared of this. My biggest fear is not going.
yeah. Well, this is why I steer people over to your blog when I can, and this
Yeah,
is what it looks like when people are really doing it. So, yeah,
yeah. There
yeah.
you go.
I I had a couple questions I'd written down here that kind of along
Yeah.
those lines. Um, what did you wish you had known before you left? I mean, you could answer this as some general question here. You can answer this how it pops to your mind, but um, yeah, what if you could have talked to yourselves back before you left?
Yeah. Well, let me give that some thought here. Do you have something top of mind?
No.
I mean, it's definitely harder than I think that I originally anticipated. We watched some YouTube videos, obviously, right? I mean, that's a lot of people get motivated by that. And we had to dream well before that. But you see the sunny side of it, and there's obviously another side that doesn't get always highlighted. But that is definitely harder. But we were talking yesterday to other cruisers, and there's high highs and low lows.
Yeah.
And as long as it evens out, above the but yeah, that's one. And the other one that just comes top of my mind, which was purchasing the boat, to buy a boat that does what you want to do. Like if you want to go racing, buy a race boat. If you want to
Right.
go cruising, buy a cruise boat. And there's many people we've met that bought like this used to be a race boat, and we've
Oh,
converted it, or the other way around. And that's that's something that I've learned, right, that I didn't know.
that's a good point.
Because this boat was used for just day cruises. I don't know if you remember, Reese, but there was no autopilot.
I did
This was
forgot.
pretty bare, solar, no, yeah, right. It was very bare. So this
Yeah.
boat hadn't been cruising, so it didn't have cruising stuff.
It worked out for us because Brahm's really good at that sort of thing, but I could see that going real sideways with someone else.
Right.
Yes,
That's a really good point. Uh, the buying the cruising boat that's fully outfitted, the drawback there is that some of those things that have maybe shorter lifespan are coming up to the end of
yeah,
their lifespan yeah. And so like
Yeah.
an advantage of installing, well, there's two advantages of installing your own autopilot. One is it's new, and two, you know how it goes together.
yeah. You're spot on. You're
Yeah.
spot on. I mean, it was a blank canvas, and we had, luckily we had a little bit of buffer so that we can work on those things. But it was a little price shock, sticker shock. What do you call that?
Yes.
When we initially like, ooh, started all over. But to your point, if there was already solar on it, we'd likely had to replace it. And now there's already an arch on it. We're stuck with that arch, so we have to fix something, find something that fits on that. So
Right.
yeah, it's a good point. I think it's something to be aware of. I guess is what I would tell a younger Brom or younger
I wish we
Jessica.
had installed our what do we call this thing?
Our Bimini. Yeah. So this is
I wish we had installed our Bimini about 4 years sooner.
Oh, great. See, that's a perfect example. That's an awesome example.
Because you've got to be able to get out of the elements.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you
Yeah,
guys
so
have
we
a
have
teak deck, don't you?
What's that?
Teak decks. You have teak decks, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have teak deck, and being out in the elements makes all the passages and night watch and squalls and all a little harder, because not only you have to deal with the sails and all that, but now we have to deal with the cockpit cushions
Well,
and
the sun too.
Yeah,
At some point, I'm done with the sun, and we just had little sunscreens, and it's like then you're moving here and you're moving here and you're moving. Now I can just sit where I want.
Yes.
put it up. But yeah, so this thing that that you see here, hopefully it comes through on the video.
Totally.
We built that the end of last year.
Yeah,
So
we
pretty
as in
recent.
Brom.
Yeah, pretty recent.
So
And
you
it's got all these Velcro panels.
Oh, cool. And you got a sail right on board?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a sail right on board?
I wish. No, we have a knockoff or a
Oh.
cheapo.
Oh no! This is like a $200 Target sewing machine.
Oh,
But funny story. I mean, I'll keep this brief.
Yeah.
So I built this thing when we took a trip to the U.S. The end of last year, and I told Jess, like, hey, does your family have a sewing machine that I can use?
I'm like, yeah, my mom and sister, they both sew occasionally.
I'm
Well,
like-
my mom a lot, my sister a little.
I'm like, are they heavy duty? Because I bought this fabric.
No.
It's not Sunbrella, but it's a knockoff, very very similar
yeah.
from Sailrite, the whole thing. Anyway, they're like, no, and then anyway, again, long story short, her mom gave her a machine eventually.
And I'm looking at the bag it's in. I'm like, this bag looks really familiar. And I open it up. I'm like, this sewing machine looks really familiar. And my sister goes, it's yours.
Oh,
It's a really old one that she got when she was, I don't know.
It's from the 70s. It was my grandma's metalhead, like the works.
So initially when I opened that bag, I'm like, what the hell is this? This is really old and crusty. But it turns out that's the machine you want.
it is. Power.
Yeah. So I
Nice.
could go through 3-4 layers. And yeah, built this thing and very happy with it. But that's a great one. I wish we had done that sooner, because now it's like, oh my God, why didn't we do this earlier?
Comfort. Prioritize comfort. I guess that's the
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
good
is,
one.
and that's great takeaway. But I just don't think that awning is what people's minds would go to. Up here in this latitude, we have the fantasy about the blue water and the tropics, but the what it actually means to be in the sun all the time. Yeah, that's you actually get out of it. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's exhausting, and it's bad for your skin and hell, all that stuff. Yeah, you know how it works. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then I bet the boat's much cooler too, because the boat's going to be pretty warm otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cooler, and we can leave stuff out that normally we have to constantly bring it in, bring it out. And that's another song and dance we do every day. It's like opening the butterfly, closing the butterfly, opening the butterfly, and the front hatch, because as soon as the squall comes in, we got to close it up. But it gets hot and muggy real fast.
real fast.
So that's like, oh, go back down and open it all back up. So,
Oh, you know what we just got? This is
What?
super exciting. We just got a washing machine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah. You want to see it? Because I know you're recording, so maybe it's not
Yeah.
valid. Okay.
No, it totally is. It totally is, because that's another thing that goes along with the heat is how much you're going through clothes, right? You're trying to get change your clothes constantly because you're getting all sweaty. That makes total sense.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if I can flip this camera around. Well, let me just do it this way.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Holy smokes! Nice installation.
Thank you. So yeah, it's so there is a little what do you call it?
Dry lock.
A dry locker or wet locker actually is behind here, so that's
Yeah.
where it's recessed in. So
Oh
that's
my
why this small room, there's not any space taken up by it.
Yeah, perfect. And
It's one of those
ACD.
small.
Nice.
Luxury. We always thought that a water maker was luxury and a refrigerator, but now we got a freaking washing machine.
Okay, so that's going to be AC/DC, I'm guessing, or is it just DC and
AC.
okay, AC/DC?
It's AC. And Yeah, it's AC, and it's from New Zealand, Australia, where they make these units, right?
Okay.
Because in the US, I have never really seen those little mini ones.
Yeah.
Um, so there, it's 220. So I
Okay.
bought a special inverter just for this machine to
Oh,
run it, which turns out actually be great because we bought another fan here for when we're like here
right.
on the dock, a couple other things like a water cooker. So we're actually using the 220 inverter. It's not a blue box, not an
Yeah.
expensive Victron. Um,
So
but it,
you're running the engine and doing a load of laundry. Is that how it works? No, off the battery.
actually, since we went the lithium route, I think before we went to Sitka, did that delivery. I think I just installed that lithium.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Anyway,
It
so
was right when we crossed the canal.
yeah. So
Okay.
with the lithium, we can pull it, and with the water maker, it only uses 30 liters for a load,
Okay.
and it's actually surprisingly, even though inverter 220 sounds like a big load,
Yeah.
once the thing is running, and unless you use the water heater
Oh,
function, which
Yeah.
we haven't used,
okay. That makes.
it's really convenient.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, something popped to my mind while we were talking about the unglamorous parts of things.
Yeah.
And one of the actually kind of part of the history of how we kind of continued contact in a way was around insurance. What's your eyes got big.
That's her. That's
We've
her.
been through 5.
Yeah. We're on our fifth, or we went through 5, or is this the fifth?
I don't.
Lo-
We started out with Boat US, which I
Okay.
think a lot of people do. And they told me that we would be able to get insurance. We would just get this rider for Mexico.
Okay.
And then like days before we got to Mexico, they cut us.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, so in Mexico, you're required to have Mexican liability. So we're like, good enough.
Yeah.
That'll get us through Mexico. So I knew I had to think about it when we were leaving Mexico.
Yeah.
So then we went with Concept,
Okay.
who would only do full coverage. And we really just wanted liability,
Hmm.
but they would only do full coverage. So we paid twice the price and got
Yeah.
Concept. And then we went through the canal, and then
Which, if I may interrupt, just and Concept told us that they would also cover us South Pacific.
Yes.
So that's why we picked them.
I'm not there yet.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not there yet. So we go through the canal, and I don't know if you remember, but like Belize, I was like, we're done for the year. And I hear Rio Dulce is nice, and it's way up a river, and we're going there.
It's a hurricane hole. Yeah.
And so I called Concept, and at first I was like, what if we don't make it up to Cape Hatteras? And then I was later a little more aggressive and said, we're not going to Cape Hatteras.
They wanted us north of Hatteras
Right.
by July 15 or whatever it was. Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, I guess we'll just have to put you on a liability only policy.
Which is what we wanted to begin with, Yeah.
Super annoying. So I'm like, okay. So we moved to a liability only policy. And then as Bra mentioned, they had said they would cover us going across the Pacific. And a month before we left, they said, nope, just kidding. We're not going to do that.
Wow.
And we're like, yeah. So then I
We're
went
shopping around for a new
shopping
one.
around again. And
Yeah.
so we found Merkel.
You may have heard of that one, Merkel.
I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah.
The Jackline policy.
Yeah.
So it took we had just been hauled out in
In Guatemala, where we got the new bottom, new cutlass bearing, new stuffing box, all that stuff done.
so here 2 months later, they're like, we need an out of water survey. And I'm like, no.
So she's arguing with the agent, saying like, we just did this. We have price, we have receipts.
I sent all the receipts, I sent all the photos, and they actually let us just do
Well,
it in water.
the agent first said like, well, we'll present it to the underwriter, but they're not likely going to go with this. I've never seen this happen. And sure enough, they accepted these pictures and the receipts that Jess sent. So that's and then they dropped us, right? They changed.
Wait.
Yeah, this is an interesting topic.
Yeah.
So again, I just wanted liability only, and And she had quoted me both. And then when it came time to sign the paperwork, she's like, and here's your full coverage. I'm like, that's not what I asked for. And so I had to go through a little bit of rigmarole with that. But we did finally end up with the liability only through Jackline. And then here recently, they just canceled the whole Jackline policy.
So yeah,
It doesn't exist anymore. So as people are renewing, now we have to go on Helmsman. But I do like the Helmsman policy because we got this nice little thing kind of in between full coverage and liability.
Oh.
So well, we've got some friends that we know a couple people that have lost their masts. And these are good sailors. These are competent people with good boats, and we're like,
well taken care of.
we're like, maybe we should think about a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah, because if I can interrupt, the reason we only wanted liability is, well, because it's required in a lot of countries and marinas. And as much as we love Kariwampo, right? Yeah, we're beautiful. Love you. It's protecting our asses, right?
Our other assets.
Our other assets. And we figured if the boat goes, we'll find another hobby.
Yeah.
But now we found the one that Jess is mentioning. That's a little bit of a combination. And what I like about this one, a lot of times insurance companies tell you where you can go and where you cannot go, right?
Especially storm season.
Yeah, and that's why most people from in the tropics, they go to the Virgin New Zealand because of their insurance.
Right.
This one says you can go anywhere. We don't care where you go, but if there's a named storm, then we won't cover you. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that flex between the full and the liability, which is really nice because then we get to decide if Rio Safe is.
Yep. Or Tonga, we can go on the Hearts. And if we feel comfortable with that. And we talked to the reason we did feel comfortable with Tonga is we went to the yard. It's right in a old quarry. Is that right?
Quarry, yeah.
Quarry, yeah.
Rock quarry.
Yeah. So it's a big wall, and they build a whole crate around the boat, and they strap it down. So in case of, God forbid, some tropical cyclone or even a full-on cyclone, all these boats are not going to bounce around. Hopefully, it's similar as the pit. Have you heard of those in Fiji?
Yes. Yeah, where they put it underground or the keels underground. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is basically the same, but it's above ground. But there are 6x6
huge timbers,
and they're all braced and cross braced and with straps. So I think it's as good as a pit, if not, whatever. Yeah.
Right. I love that idea of mixing those two together, or sort of like in between, because you're thinking, well, what are the chances I'm going to have, a big accident happen when I know a storm is coming versus when's the times I'm going to have an accident when I don't know things are coming and I haven't made preparations. Hopefully you're savvy enough to be able to make those preparations for, the named storms coming, and that you really are just needing that coverage for when there is something that's more random or harder to predict.
Yeah, so we saved a few, like it's right in the middle. So we saved a few dollars off the full coverage that would do named storms, but we're paying a little more than the liability. But we're okay with that. We were happy with how that worked out.
Good mix.
Yeah,
but it's interesting you ask, Reese, because insurance is one of those topics around the docks that everybody has war stories and everybody has like, oh my God, it's a trigger point for a lot of sailors.
Yeah. And like I say, when I'm talking to people in the beginning, helping people buy boats or delivering boats and stuff, that these are the subjects, usually the very last things that they get to, and you want to focus on all the blue water and sunshine and beam reaches.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's exactly it. It's not a glamorous.
It feels like every year I've got to do something.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I guess I asked before, what did you wish you had known? And then you kind of mentioned what you wish you had brought. So that was another thing that I was going to ask. What was it?
Well, actually, I do have a comment on that one, if this is an appropriate reason.
Yeah.
One of our wish list items has been diving gear, right? We're both PADI certified. And, we're going to these beautiful reefs and we anchor in these beautiful bays with blue water or, when I take a pee in the middle of the night, with the moon, I can see the bottom. That's how clear the water is.
Yes.
But the sailors we speak with that
Nice visual.
as an example, but there's a bunch of sailors that have all dive compressors and tanks and everything else, and most of them that we speak with, they're like waste of money
Really?
because
And
snorkeling.
space, huge amount of space.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because it's an energy hog. It takes up a lot of space, and you barely use it. With snorkeling, you can do 99% of it. And the time you go diving, you likely go with a guide, because you rarely dive off your boat. You usually have to go with your dinghy, and then what do you do with the dinghy while you go down? All that stuff. So it's one of those things that sounds romantic, sounds like, oh, of course we're going to have all our diving stuff, but
We're glad we never had room for it.
and they're for sale. They're for sale all the time
Oh.
in the marinas and these places. People want to get rid of it.
Oh, well, that's awesome. That is, I know that I had noticed that in my cruising as a kid was that the free diving, that snorkeling, was much more. I kind of enjoyed it in a lot of ways, and you don't have much color beyond 30 feet anyways, so you just kind of learning how to be better at holding your breath and getting in that first bit of water. Yeah,
Yeah, the free diving. Yeah, exactly. So we have a hookah that's just for the cleaning the bottom,
yeah,
which we do every month.
very
Just
much.
wipe down, just with the hookah, and that I definitely recommend anybody get that because it's just or diving
That was a good
anchor.
purchase.
That was a good purchase. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's see. Next one. What has been difficult? What has been, that maybe I guess it's sort of like what you wish you'd known, but is there anything that kind of comes to mind of like that you didn't think I
Well,
guess was going to be?
The boat doesn't stop moving
Oh,
well, yeah. There's
ever for 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one. No, I was gonna say family. You know what I mean? Family,
Oh,
friends, the connections, the homesickness.
right.
Um, that's a tough one. I'm not sure if that's what you're
Yeah, no,
asking, but
that's it. That's totally it. Yeah.
Those are
yeah,
good answers.
Yeah.
yeah. But as far as the difficulty, um, you know, we tell people like, oh, we have all the comfort on board. Now even a washing machine, as you saw,
Yeah.
the water maker, propane, a little galley, right? We have all the comforts we need. So we're actually very comfortable. But it doesn't take much to cross that line. Like if a water maker breaks, like we had one time, a water maker broke, our outboard broke or was
We had
broken.
very little propane.
We were almost out of propane, and I forgot there was something else, but it's just a few of those things, and suddenly you're camping.
It was,
You're surviving. You're in the nearest.
and then we had to stay at the top part of Fakarava to wait for these things to come in on the next plane.
Yeah, we're
And we
remote.
ended up in this terrible. Everybody else went south because we knew this weather system was coming in, and we were
Oh,
just pinned down, and it was miserable.
Yeah, because you can't go bargain shopping, right? We had to pay top dollar to get a membrane flown in, and we had to get a part for outboard that normally on Amazon you can buy knockoff for what, $40, and it was like 250, like
yeah.
OEM, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we can't go bargain shopping, and that's what we had to do. So we had to swallow that one, and but yeah, it's a fine line, as you know, right, between feeling like homeless and surviving to having the comforts and drinking cocktails on the deck.
Right. I mean, and there is a real difference between people that are cruisers, I think. We up here in the San Juan, we have people that go cruising for, maybe a month or something. And with everything
Mhm.
around, and you guys, this is a lifestyle. So,
Yeah.
yeah, all of those things, I'm sure they can they can compile there and yeah, you can say you go from there straight into camping and that's
Yeah.
just exhausting.
Yeah,
And
you really have to be adaptable for food too.
Mhm.
People complain a lot that French Polynesia is so expensive. I didn't necessarily find it expensive. We just had to change how we were eating and eat the things that were available.
What's
yeah,
an example?
Yeah, like one day there might be tomatoes, and then there won't be tomatoes for 2 weeks,
or eggs,
or eggs,
and if you want an
or
egg every day, well, you're gonna have to pay top dollar for eggs. But you
I
know.
mean, anywhere now. I
Oh, that's
Bad example.
yeah, bad example. But she likes creamer in her coffee, and that's, you know, expensive. So then we buy coconut cream or something like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
Yeah.
substitute, and then it's doable.
Chicken has been hard to find the last month, and that's a downer, man. Because we
Yeah.
were eating a lot of chicken because that's what was available.
Yeah, but then we eat tuna or, you know,
Yeah.
other things. So you just have to substitute and use what's available.
Right. Okay.
But I like your point earlier about the lifestyle, because that's exactly it. We have friends visiting every now and again, and for them it's a vacation.
Yeah.
And for us, this is a lifestyle. So they want to go like rent Vespas and go 4x4, and they want to go, you know, diving and go do all these things. And that's normally not what we do on a regular basis. Of course, we'll join in, but you know, for us, it's a lifestyle and not a vacation.
And we should make it a vacation once in a while.
Yeah, I know. We got to splurge every now and again. Do something fun.
Gotta pump the brakes there, because yeah, it's you know, I know what you're talking about, because you are living a lifestyle in a place where people vacation, so everything is sort of set up for vacationers, and it's easy to forget that you live there and that it's you're trying to make that money last and have it be a long thing, and everybody else has only got 2 weeks and they have to go back to work.
Exactly. Right. They want to splurge. They want to do stuff. And yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, interesting. And another one that I just popped in my head. So this is, I know it's not very chronological here.
No.
Thing that surprised me was how big of a deal trash is.
Yes.
And I kind of knew that a little bit from, you know, just our deliveries and whatnot.
Yeah.
But trash is a big deal. So we're really careful about what we buy, where we leave our packaging before we even get to the boat. You know, separating organics from like plastics, because organics we can dispose of, all these things. And then even with all that carefulness, sometimes we come to a place and then, you know, there's like, oh, recycling, and we recycle it. It all goes in the same truck, you know, and it's these outlets. But
we wash our garbage, like, well, especially things with dairy. I mean, we have the cleanest garbage because we don't know how long we have to hold it.
Yeah. And surprisingly, 2 weeks, you know, we have this small little pile of, you know, that's our garbage because we're so careful. Yeah.
Right. And that trick of, I don't remember where I'd heard it from, but like making sure to remove the, like, let's say the chicken from its packaging and putting it in your Tupperwares or what have you, before you go, so you're not bringing stuff that's gonna be sitting in the
Yeah, we use freezer bags for that because it also makes it so we can fit more in. We can fit twice as much in. I mean, we only have the little tiny freezer, so
yeah.
But yeah, and we wash those Ziploc bags. We wash those, which initially annoyed me, but now, you know, because Jess always wants to wash those, and I'm like, really? But I'm totally on board now because that's, you know, less trash and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. These are all great. Okay, so what here's a happy one. What's better than you thought it was going to be? Or did you just knew it was going to be as awesome as it is?
No, it's definitely better than in a lot of ways. I think our relationship.
Wow.
Because there's two people on a 40-foot boat. You know, that 40-foot boat gets really small, but especially when you're, you know, sleep deprived and no foods, and you're hungry and you're tired, all that stuff, the fuse gets a little shorter.
Yeah.
But we've learned how to, I think I'd like to say,
yes.
We've learned how to deal with that. And I'll give you one example, not to derail this conversation.
No, this is it.
Yeah. So sometimes when one of us gets frustrated or tired or, you know, all of those things, right? Weather, sailing, you can get grumpy or the short fuse. Like if Jess tells me it's not you, it's the situation, then suddenly it just lifts the whole stress off my shoulders, because suddenly I don't go into trying to figure out like, what did I do wrong? Or, you know, what's going on?
Try to fix something.
Trying to fix it.
You can't fix the waves.
No.
It's like
But then I can focus my attention on making the boat comfortable, or, you know, making a cup of tea, or rather than trying to figure out what I did wrong or what's the tension between, you know what I mean? It's the situation. So it's a small example, one that just popped in my head, but we've kind of learned to work through these things. And You know,
He likes to make jokes and try and lighten the situation, and
Mhm.
I do not take that well.
you know what I mean? When the shit hits the fan, I'm like, oh, try to crack a joke and everything else.
So we've had to kind of navigate, how far can he go with his jokes before I'm pissed off?
Yeah. Does that make sense? You know what I
I
mean?
like that about him, but then again, I don't live with him. So.
It's really cute up to a point.
She just needs to kind of work through it. Yeah.
I'm more internal, and so I need to just kind of, sometimes I just need to sit and be and just let it be what it is without trying to draw attention to it or whatever. And so
Trying to fix it and make it fun.
Yeah, it's not fun. Sometimes it's just not fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so yeah. Hopefully that answers the question. Like, what's that worked out actually better because the first couple of overnighters and you know what I mean, stress, and you're like, oh, how is this going to work? But actually worked out a lot better because we've working through it. And when there's tension, it's like one of those things when it starts to smell, you can't let it keep because it's going to smell more and more.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of
we deal with things immediately.
Yeah, pretty much immediately.
What was the question?
What was better?
Oh, better. Okay.
Yeah.
What was better than you thought it would be? So that's
I think that. Yeah.
Are there any other things?
What,
so we learn a lot as we're kind of one of the things that I figured out by Rio Dulce was that when we're going into these areas, there's a lot more information there. So like we didn't know coming down the coast that was a hurricane hole. We didn't know we could stay in Panama or at these certain places. So as we're going, we're constantly learning about the areas that we're going to and the resources and I think it's just kind of a constant learning. And it makes it less scary because like you get somewhere and you're like, oh my, this is broken and I don't know what to do. And there's so much community knowledge.
Right.
It's super, super helpful.
Do you use No Foreign Lands, Reese?
No.
Does that app ring a bell?
Oh, we love it.
Oh.
That's one we can definitely recommend. I'm not sure how prevalent it is in the Pacific Northwest.
I think there's a lot of.
But the app is called No Foreign Lands.
Okay.
And most of the cruisers, 9 out of 10, if not 99 out of 100, use that. And it's all about like where you get your apples and where you could get, custom check-in and where, all this stuff, right? It's like a social.
And all the anchorages are marked.
Anchorages.
And then there's a special symbol for hurricane hole for if,
Yeah, protected area. So just like Navionics, you know what I mean? When you zoom in, you can kind of see the comments, which are a lot of times from 1986 or something like that. Yeah. The No Foreign Land
we
is
had started with Navionics and then we found this and we're like, oh, this is really an updated version. It doesn't have the charts.
Yeah.
But it has everything else that you need to know when you're going into
local knowledge. Yeah. And we always like to use more than one source, which we learned from someone smart when you go sailing. And so yeah, the cruising guides are often outdated, and then Navionics is one. And so yeah, that's a really good one. No Foreign Lands.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's another good example of things that were better than you thought. You were going into it all worried about how are we going to find out about stuff, and you realize that the best people, the best resources, the people that are already there are just coming from where you're going, and that's yeah, I've tried to tell that to people too, even just shorter term cruising. And sometimes people, especially maybe city people, a bit more shy talking to other people, on the docks and trying to encourage people that you actually have there's a sort of a strategic requirement to make some friends here in the marina or at the restaurant or bar, because that's the freshest information available to you. So try to make some friends, try to reach out.
It changes super fast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's one of the things, back to the question, like what's harder than you thought, immigrations, visas, the bureaucracy in some of these countries. insurance we talked about, a
Yeah.
lot of things that are not normally, on the brochure,
Yeah.
turn out to be pretty hard to do when you're, and countries are different, and the protocols and different anchorages and or immigration points have different, requirements. So that's always a little bit. So yeah. So this resource thing becomes very important.
So
Yeah.
I'm struggling a little bit with the what's worse or better than you thought, because I really didn't have a lot of thoughts
Yeah.
going into this, other than, oh, we're going to go do this.
Well, maybe that's one of the tricks. I don't know.
That's it.
But I mean, this
ignorance.
kind of ties in. Is the cruising community is so amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, what a treat. Like, you're just part of the family without, like, just by owning the boat and being out there. And it's been so welcoming. We've seen truly heartwarming stories and people taking care of each other. I would say that is,
Yeah, that's a good one.
been one of the greatest things coming out of this.
Like, we come into this marina, we've never been to Fiji, never been to, let alone this marina. And we know, like, oh, we know them. Oh, we've anchored with them. Oh,
yeah, we're constantly.
Yeah, which is awesome. So, or New Zealand, we were in New Zealand, and we come to the marina, and we're like, oh, we've met with them in French Polynesia. They're from
Tonga was the funnest. We pulled into Tonga. We're like, we saw people from every single step of our voyage.
Oh,
Yeah.
In this one place in Tonga. We had gone to town, and then we went over to this anchorage, and we pull around the corner. We're like, we know that boat.
It was Morning Star, which is a boat we hadn't seen since Morro Bay, California.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And when we had talked to them, they had no plans to cross the Pacific. We're like, what are you doing here?
It is weird, right? Being in this foreign place, and then you just recognize people, which I'm sure, I mean, you have that all the time, Reese, right? But you know the whole people up and down the coast.
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I guess the last one is where to next?
So we still have the aspirational idea. We don't say plan anymore,
Yes.
because plan is a big taboo word.
Well, see, that goes back to what we were talking about just before, which kind of came from, you said you didn't have all these expectations going into it. I feel like I even remember, you have to correct me here, if that you had said you were going to go try this as long as it was fun. You didn't.
That's true.
That's still true.
Yeah. Fun, healthy.
Yeah.
Our parents are getting older, so as long as they, they don't need us, and kids. But you're right. That's exactly it. I think we have realistic expectations where we don't want to, get ahead of ourselves too much. Because people ask us, like, oh, you want to go around the world, which we'd like to, but we don't advertise that too hard, because, again, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. And we've seen
a lot of burnouts.
We've seen a lot of burnouts, and there's people who started with us, going on the west coast of the U.S. with the same goals, and they're already out. They're
some of them had a set time limit and had to go back, and then some of them are just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah,
because it's hard
for all sorts of reasons, right?
Yeah.
By choice, or maybe not by choice, or for money or health or all these stuff. So ideally, our idea is that we continue west. The next logical step from Fiji would be Vanuatu, and then again, logical progression would be, Vanuatu, Solomon, Papua New Guinea, and then eventually through the Torres Strait to get to the Southeast Asia.
Okay.
So Fiji is really for us a destination, right? We'll be here a month or two. I think Vanuatu, Solomon, and Papua New Guinea will be hubs where we go and check in and check out at the same time, where they give us, 24 or 48 hours or something like that, where we can fuel up, rest, all these things. Go to the Torres Strait, and then Indonesia. That's going to be a whole new chapter, or a whole new.
Yeah, we're looking forward to exploring new culture in a little different way, because we've been here for a couple of years now. So.
Yeah, I've been in the South Pacific and Polynesia for 2 years.
But we're not we're very hesitant to kind of talk about these things, because every single year we said we would be somewhere for storm season.
Yeah,
and we haven't done it.
We haven't done it one single time.
right? Because the first year was going to be like, oh, north of Cape Hatteras. Well, we
No,
never.
no. The first year we were going to cross the Pacific.
Oh, that's true. And then we ended up going to the canal. So yeah, every year we end up doing something different than
we were going to be in French Polynesia for 3 months. We stayed for 18 months.
Well, the whole trip initially, Reese, when we hired you, we started working on it, was a 3 to 5 year trip.
Yeah.
Now we're over 4 years in, and we're not even halfway. So hopefully we do this for another long time.
Yeah.
But again, being realistic about, things can happen, health, equipment, all the things we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, to answer your question, I think that we'd like to go to the Southeast Asia, and then, the logical corner there is Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, that range up.
Okay.
But yeah, then we're in the Indian Ocean, and like I said, a whole new chapter, probably a whole new book.
Right.
Once we get there, but we hope to do that before November. So this year we hope to make it to the Torrid.
Yeah, because I guess you can say what you will, like on not wanting to be too strict on the scheduling, but you still do have to adapt to the cyclone season. You still have latitude that you need to consider. Insurance or no, that's kind of on your schedule. Yeah,
absolutely.
So remember our boat name though, right?
Kadiwampo, yeah. Travel in a purposeful manner, yeah.
We're going in a purposeful manner toward a vague destination.
Actually, this is a good tie into one of the earlier questions. Now that I'm kind of trying to close a loop on that, is initially you have this vision that, we can just let the wind take us wherever we want to go. And we quickly realized, that there's a lot more constraints, storm season being the biggest one. And then of course there's, visa requirements. Like for the US, people can only stay in French Polynesia 3 months.
Right.
So you can say, hey, I want to stay there a year, but
well, there's also geopolitical. Like last year, we had friends that were in New Caledonia when there were huge riots, and so you've got to always be paying attention. We've talked about the Suez Canal, but that doesn't look so safe right now.
Or 2 years ago, we wanted to go to Jamaica. We were in that corner of the world, and that wasn't safe at that time. So yeah, there's a lot of variables that make this less. Let the wind just take you.
Yeah, and that relates. That kind of relates to what you were saying before about when you were saying it was nice to go and then find the resources and the information there. That's kind of part of that in a way, is like as you move forward, you're learning more as you're going, rather than sticking to a plan that you had 2 years ago that's not based on any of the fresh data. Yeah,
exactly. And you learn places that we hadn't even considered that turn out to be just magical. Sorry, the plane coming over. Turn out to be magical.
Yeah.
Tiny little plane.
I have to go on that. It looks scary.
It's a little plane. Awesome.
Have you been to Fiji, Reese?
No, I have not.
Because I know you've done Caribbean, you've even done some deliveries there and everything.
I haven't done South Pacific yet. No, that's. I'm actually I'm looking at Norway. I have to keep telling people about this so that I kind of hold myself to it.
Going to the fjords and all that.
Yeah, I'd love to go and sail around up in there. But
that's high latitude. That's high latitude sailing, isn't it? That's pretty high up.
Ish, yeah.
That's a whole different ballgame.
It is. It is. But right now, just still enjoying my backyard. It's great to be here in May, because I think this is one of the best times to be here if you can adapt to when the days are nice and there's still nobody around.
Has the training schedule started up for you again? The classes and everything? I know you do a lot of deliveries, but
yeah, I've got a couple of private lesson customers. So a gal with an Oyster 47, I've got to do a bunch more lessons with, and so it's actually pretty loose. But a variety of things, some deliveries, Been doing a bunch of rigging work.
Oh,
So it's improvising a little bit here, seeing what the year will bring. But I know that come July and August, will there'll be plenty of requests for
that's your
various
peak.
things.
July, August, your peak season.
Yes,
That-
yes,
that- yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I do. I was thinking it might be good. I should have done this in the beginning. It might be good to just do a little clip on what um maybe background you guys have, or like kind of a brief sort of what got you to where you are. I mean, I could start by saying I know you guys because you hired me to help you move your boat from Port Townsend to Astoria when you bought
That's
it
right.
back in the very beginning, and that's how we met. And
Yeah,
and then after that went so well, then you had said that you were looking to get some experience, and you, I think, also were looking to get an ocean crossing. You were looking to get the Pacific crossing under your belt to get
that's
the
right.
insurance. Yeah, and we had a misfire on a Pacific crossing, but we did get a pretty fun delivery from Sitka to to Seattle. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. And we did the LA to Seattle,
oh
the
yeah,
one
yeah.
the
So
bash
we,
up.
yeah.
Yeah,
So Brom, you and I have like a couple. I don't know. It's a couple thousand miles, maybe
probably. Yeah, I would
close to
think.
1,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
together. So
Yeah, and I appreciate your honesty and when you're sometimes make the unpopular decisions for the crew, but I respect that a lot. And you as a captain, not being afraid to tell it as it is something that I really appreciate. And Jess and I will often still refer to some of your words of wisdom. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's how we met. And just as a little background to answer your question, it's always been a dream of mine since I was in college to sail around the world, and that dream got put on the lower, what do you call that, the back burner when family, kids, career, all that happened.
yeah.
We resurfaced, and then Jess and I met, and then I told her one
He
night,
he told me about his dream, and I thought, oh, that's cute. He has a dream. Oh, and I don't like boats.
yeah, you didn't know me yet.
My experience in boats was fishing boats on the Columbia, little 20 footers, and the guys would be like, we're going out for a couple hours. In my head, that's 2 hours. No, it's all day and it's 8 hours and there's no toilet and there's no sunshade. And I decided that I don't want to be on boats anymore unless I can swim to shore.
Yeah.
That's how we started.
That's how we started.
That's how you started. Well, I guess I could also fill in some blanks there. You guys did some motorcycle touring together, I think, right?
We
Early.
did.
Yeah, and through hikes. So as far as being adventurous and not being afraid to sometimes, walk on the blisters or the, kind of push
Yeah, our
through.
blisters had blisters.
Yeah, kind of to push through some of those difficult times. We've learned quickly. In fact, that's when we, I think, started to fall in love with each other. Is to kind of, hey, this is a good person that is not afraid to, roll up the sleeves or
Get out there and do it.
get out there and do it. And so that's when we knew. And then we really started to seriously plan for it. It wasn't an accident that we just
No,
tossed
it
the
was a
dock lines.
5 year plan.
For 5 years, we worked towards
So we did
cruising,
the first one was we did the Baja Haha in 2018.
crewing. Yep.
So that was my first time ever on a sailboat. Was a 10-day
Passage down there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then we took the ASA classes, and with you the delivery, or actually buying the boat was almost towards the end of the 5 years, because we had heard that as soon as you buy the boat, it's going to suck up the energy and your money really fast. So even though a lot of people start with buying the boat, it was almost the last thing we did.
Well, and also you got to kind of learn what you want. And so like we had crewed on a Hunter. We had rented that Naughty Cat up in Port Townsend or
Anacortes.
Anacortes.
Yeah.
Um,
Catch, and we were on a cat, And yeah, trying different boats was extremely valuable because what one person loves, the other person, dislikes, and vice versa. You know this better
Right.
than we do, Reese, as far as things on boats that
So
are
we
important.
really just tried to spend as much time on different kinds of boats, or and when we started narrowing it down the type of boat that we wanted, we started spending, So we did a couple. We crewed on a couple. We did the ASA classes. That was on a little boat.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, Catalina 22.
we our ASA classes. We went to San Diego and we were there for a week, and we were able to live on the boat while we were there for that week. So
Right.
that was kind of helpful and kind of moving toward that. Yeah.
Because you guys are, I have a variety of different type of students, and I think that I'm best suited to people kind of like yourself who are not looking to just learn in order to charter a boat, a couple times every other year or something. Or people sometimes people in the basic level classes, they're just it's a Pilates class one weekend and a sailing class the next.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, and so having taught the whole variety of people, usually you guys represent a small percentage of the people that are in those classes and have different needs or different sort of maybe a level of risk that you're kind of bringing to it, and a level of attention that some of the other people don't have, more in vacation mentality and stuff. So
yeah,
that's great. I think too, um, when we were just chatting last, I think you had said that you were in New Zealand for how was it, a month?
yeah,
2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah,
In 2 months in a small RV.
that's right. In a little minivan, actually,
Minivan.
yeah, it was a minivan.
And
Yeah,
just prior to that, we were in Australia for 2 months in a small minivan.
Okay, so people ask me, they're always, what they want to go do what you guys are doing, and what does it take? And yeah, you guys are a rare couple, and it's one of the reasons I want to talk to you guys is to share what it really takes, and I don't think people know. So
yeah,
I would say mostly adaptability.
yeah,
adaptability.
adaptability.
You have to be willing to roll with the punches and change your mind and take a different route than you thought you would, and
Yeah,
end up in storm season in Guatemala. I did not know that was going to happen.
well,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's actually a really good one. I don't want to drag this on too long, Reese.
No.
So stop me if it's too long. But
No.
um, so sometimes, what do you call it? Dropping something like, I'll give you the example I was going to use. We went to Fatu Hiva, which is like one of those iconic, Marquesas Islands.
We had gotten to Hiva Oa, and we backtracked over to Fatu Hiva.
Bashed, right, for a day or a day and a half, something like that.
Because there's a great waterfall, beautiful.
It's like the iconic, picture. If you look up Marquesas on Wikipedia, that's the picture that comes up, type of thing. And we came in that bay, and there was a lot of other boats, and it's a very steep or very deep. So you want to anchor along the edge of the bay.
It really comes to a V.
And it's really steep. So it's really hard to set the hook. And we tried, and it's
and we were there with a couple friends.
There with friends, and they were successful, and they were on the radio like, oh, try here in front of us. And you know what I mean? You know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
So eventually, to make the long story short, we decided to pull anchor and leave. It was just not in the cards. We were tired. It didn't work. A little tension between us, because it's frustrating. As soon as we said, you know what, it's not in the cards, we're going to go to the other islands where we knew there was a big bay. We knew there was cellular connectivity. We could provision. We were low on stuff. Anyway, as soon as we dropped that idea, the stress level dropped. It was just the right thing to do. And sometimes that's, at that moment, like we spent so much time to get here, and it's so much effort to make this work, and it turns out not to work, and that's sometimes the best decision is to, it's just not in the cards. Or going to Cape Hatteras, you know what I mean? That's not going to happen. Or like us, Reese, with Hawaii, you know what I mean? We got to turn around. Sometimes those difficult decisions turn out to be the right decisions, but that's not always what you expect and what you were hoping for. But it's got to do it.
Yeah, and
And we
maybe
didn't
go
we
go
didn't
ahead.
feel like we were a little bummed, but we were like,
We got over it real quick.
we got over it real quick. There was another waterfall in another pretty anchorage.
Yeah.
And then we actually went down and we came back, which we weren't expecting that we
Yeah.
were going to come back. And we
Oh.
did eventually see it.
Yeah.
So
But we weren't
it worked out.
expecting that.
And then we saw it and we're like, oh.
Yeah, that's so true. I think what they call that the sunk cost fallacy or the previous investment
Yeah.
trap,
Yeah.
or you do this some sort of math in your head of like, well, we did all the work to get here, and even though it's saying we can't stay here or we can't make that next step, you're gonna disregard all this information that's telling you that you shouldn't do it because of everything that led up to it. But the thing is, everything that led up to it doesn't really factor into the information that you're getting in that moment, and really
Right.
trying to get away from that sort of thinking. It just ends up being hard for me. Usually, it's the pressure of the crew have made a time commitment to do to do this in this period of time, and then when we have mechanical things like was happening, it was eroding into the time that we had allowed, and then the pressure to go because of that schedule. And it's funny, when you were talking about the way that you talk to each other when it's the stressful situation, the way that one deals it with humor, one internally, and you don't have to just be fixing everything because you can't fix the ocean. When Madison and I were on this last delivery, and that all these things keep happening, and he could see that I'm getting stressed out. He's such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He like taps me on the shoulder and he says, "It's the boat. It's not you."
There you go.
You know,
Yeah, that's very smart.
yeah, it's true. It
Yeah.
totally was, but in my mind, it wasn't. I was responsible for the boat. I mean, that's part of being the skipper, but you have
Yeah.
to give yourself breaks on that stuff, and make sure you don't get yourself into trouble, because mostly the reason that people get into trouble is because they're not reading the writing on the wall. They've got that
Exactly.
schedule and they knew it going
Oh,
into it.
yeah, or they
Yeah.
want to go to that anchorage, or they want to make that happen, even though it's not on the car in the cars. And I love that Medicine, told you that, and that kind of work together, and that we've worked this out, because yeah, sometimes, or even when you're sailing, right? Like, we want to go that way, but it's very uncomfortable, so we're going this way for just overnight, and just for just to make it more comfortable. And yeah, that's why and like I said in the beginning, we prioritize safety and comfort over speed any day of any time.
Right. And then the other, I guess, the thing I'm thinking on that is practicing that, the actual act of each time you do it is sort of like you cutting loose, like being like, okay, we're not going to anchor here. We're not going to see this waterfall. Then fast forward, you ended up seeing the waterfall, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, it was a good decision to make. And so hopefully you can kind of reinforce those pathways or whatever in your brain, because
Yeah.
so much of, I keep thinking of how much of this is how our brains would have worked in the past when we were living with nature closer, and how different it is nowadays, where we're just like, well, that the plane's supposed to be here, and we have this schedule that we can put on our lives, and for the most part stick to it, and we get going down those sort of mental pathways and used to that, and that makes us poorly adapted to what it is that
Yep.
you're trying to do.
Yeah, and it'll get you in trouble, to your point earlier, Reese, right? When you put yourself on that schedule and you want to entertain the guests that you have, or you want to, in your case, people are even paying for it in some of these instances, and you feel responsible to give them a good time, that's when you get in trouble, and that's when you make decisions that you normally wouldn't, and all that stuff. So yeah, we've definitely learned that from you, and it sticks with us till
We
today.
we motor more when we have guests.
Yeah. That's when normally we would wait for good weather, but then we have guests, so we're like, well, I guess we're motoring to this other
And
island.
we're like, one in particular, they were flying into Tahiti, and we were taking them to Bora Bora, and they had flights at either end. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah. That's why we always tell people, have a plan B.
Yeah.
When they come visit us, have a plan B, because we've seen this often enough.
Alternatively, that did happen. We had guests fly into Panama to go to San Blas, and we never left the dock.
We never left the dock because of the weather, and we felt bad, but we had this conversation that we're having exactly
Yeah,
now is that
it's not safe.
it's not safe, so we're not doing it. So
Yeah.
you know,
And that's the problem. The problem is that a lot of the time, when you make those decisions to keep people safe or just comfortable, not throwing up on themselves, um, often, well, they never know what they missed, you know?
Right.
yeah, yeah,
They never know what you saved them from. So
that's true. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully not exactly. That's a really good point because they're thanking you for, but they don't know exactly. you know,
Yeah, and like they'll be like, "Oh, I understand," but you feel that piece, but
disappointment.
that
Yeah,
disappointment and that letdown, and
yeah.
yeah.
sorry.
There was another one real kind of related. When we're doing the Pacific crossing, of course, you're looking at avionics and Cape numbers or predict winds in the Cape. And, there were some high Cape numbers and they kind of stuck with us as we were, kind of making our way west.
Mhm.
And this whole
We
big,
were under this big low system
and
that
it,
was just miserable.
totally miserable. And the sea was, all the things that are
It was
associated with it.
raining.
We decided to heave to for 24 hours, let all the shit pass. And it was the best thing we did. We reorganized the boat, we cleaned up,
Slept.
we slept, we, kind of got ourselves, a new energy. And we're like, why don't we do this more often? But you're so busy in your moment.
So
Right.
that's a new tool in our belt that we're not afraid to.
We heave to.
We'll just heave to.
Yeah, even big squalls, like we just heave to, let it all pass, and we'll just, do something else. And then when it's all passed,
Like I think up to that point we had talked about, oh, maybe we should do it so we know how to do it.
right.
But we never really did.
No, I mean, I practiced a little bit, but not really in a situation where it was beneficial and useful, and using that tool out of the tool belt. And that's really valuable.
Awesome. That's a perfect example of it. Just being like, wait a minute, why are we fighting it? Do we have
Yeah,
to?
pushing, pushing, pushing. Yeah.
Well, your story about the bird. You were watching the bird.
Oh,
The bird was just like riding the waves.
it
And
was
he's like,
a calm bird on an
Oh.
angry sea, and I'm like, that is the goal. That's what we want to get to.
Yes, you just have to look around and whoa, wait, these guys live here. Oh, what are they doing?
Yeah,
they seem to be doing all right.
and we're fighting, and we're the boat is a mess, and it's exactly. Just let it happen. Let it happen.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure you guys got some varnishing to do here.
Not the best day for it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's great, Reese. Nice to catch up again. I mean, I'd love to hear what's next for you.
yeah, I really am I'm really letting this year kind of come as it lands. I don't have any Hawaii deliveries. And at this point it'd be probably not enough time to get that together. So I think I'll just be doing some basic classes here, and I'm sure there'll be a couple advanced coastals, and
And more rigging, you said?
more rigging. Yeah, there's some rigging work. Um, I think I think I'm just trying to I've gotten to a point now where I have a comfort level going on, and maybe it's a personality thing, maybe it's getting older, but just being like, okay, um, how long are you settling in, or yeah, because if I want to do this Norway thing, then I should probably slim down things as much as I can. So that's
Right.
kind of an overarching project for the years to get rid of a lot of stuff that when you're on land, because I have this great shop, I've got a storage locker, now I've got a motorcycle, I got two
Nice.
cars, like okay, I gotta simplify things a little bit. But yeah, most immediately it is deliver a boat to Portland from Victoria, and then immediately after come up and do the Swiftsure double-handed with Martin Gibson, and
Hmm.
then Oyster privates, probably some powerboat privates on this little Cutwater 28 these local boat here. And there's some rigging jobs in there, but try not to be too busy. Try to
Are
enjoy.
you still blog? I should check out your captain's blog again. I don't know if there's much new stuff on there,
There's
but I
some new
definitely should.
stuff. I don't know if it was since we last spoke, but I did interview Ray McCormick. Did you see that one?
No, no, no.
Okay.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but-
There's an infamous delivery captain from Portland who started delivering boats right after I started doing that, and had sort of accrued. Well, a lot of people that I know read his blog just because it's what not to do and
Mhm.
pretty entertaining. But he was on a delivery to on the Baja, and sunk the boat, and was kind of crucified on Sailing Anarchy. And I kind of wanted to get
Was this part of the Baja Haha?
the Baja Haha. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I feel like we heard about
I think we
this.
heard about this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got around. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time I heard about it, there were 200 pages of comments on the Sailing Anarchy page. So, I mean, just the level of, yeah, I mean, I wanted to try to get the information that I could before talking to him, but I wasn't going to read 200 pages of
I know.
blog. So I read her thing in Latitude 38, and then interviewed him and kind of interviewed him from the perspective of a delivery captain. And the boat uh was what I would call not seaworthy, and ultimately
Okay.
he continued to do the delivery, kind of fixing things as he went, and kind of began to lose control of the situation, um
Wow.
and sunk the boat, and somebody's home, and all that. And um and I got some crap for it. I got some crap for I don't know, not
Like
being,
giving him airtime or
yeah,
that type of thing. Like,
giving him airtime, I guess, or commiserating with him as a delivery captain being asked to deliver boats that are not seaworthy all the time. um
yeah. Wow.
yeah
I'm gonna
so
look
that
it up.
yeah it's a yeah. So yeah, I think I was commiserating with him over that frustration that I'm dealing with all the time of
Yeah.
being put in this risky situation. It's one thing to navigate these waters on your own boat, or a really seaworthy, well taken care of boats. Another thing to do it on these boats that have been let sit for so long, and
Yeah.
it's tricky financial situation for the boat owner, but it's even trickier, risky situation for me and the crew. So I've gotten better about turning things down, or just
Right.
parking them. We're off the record now, but Michael, I sent you that thing that Michael Morazada wrote. Did I send you
Oh
that?
yes, yeah, yeah. With the alternator and brackets. Yeah.
Yes. Like I skimmed through that thing, and I saw nowhere in there the level of accountability that he should have really been taking for that deferred maintenance on that boat. And
Right.
anyway,
Yeah.
so I guess that in that interview there's some of that was kind of coming out. But no, I haven't been. This last delivery, people were asking me about doing the updates because we brought Starlink on board to do the updates. But the problem is, I was fighting the boat all day long, and then
Sounds like it.
I didn't want to spend my off time writing about it, and
Right.
I was just trying to get like stop thinking about it on my off times, which was, of course, interrupted by more things failing. So yeah, it was a very eventful thing, and so I'm gonna, now that things it's now I've calmed down enough, I'll be able to revisit and make some notes, and post them up there, because there was lots of learning, definitely lots of
Yeah.
learning. And that's the main point of the blog is to make it an educational thing,
Oh yeah.
for people like yourself, or people that are So multiple people that were involved in that delivery were enlightened in a way that maybe never thought that they would, or would want to be about the unglamorous side of
Yeah.
kind of boating. So
Okay.
they did learn stuff. They just didn't learn the kind of what does it feel like on a broad reach in 15 to 20 surrounded by um, dolphins. That's what they were
Right.
hoping.
Yeah. Those moments exist, but it's not all that.
It happened once. It happened once in 3 weeks. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, the other one that I remember was sleeping on a boat or sleeping on a passage's work. Right.
Yeah.
We learned that from you too, and we use that very often when we're sailing with other people because it's so true.
Yeah, yes, and I think about the amount of coffee that you like to drink, and I don't know how you do it. 'Cause-
Yeah. Just, yeah.
It's fine.
Ridiculous. And then I'll go down and 2 hours later come up. You got a good nap? I'm like, well, it was more of a rest.
Yeah. Hey, those are good. Those are
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Well, it was there's the other I was think of like this network of people and who knows all who. The guy who came out and changed out the transmission in Port Townsend while we were waiting was, of course, Rick and the Salty Boys. Yeah, I sent them that picture to the
Yeah.
and the owner was complaining about how much it cost, and I said, well, I don't know anybody who would have done that in that time.
Oh yeah.
It was just
Exactly.
amazing how they dropped everything. His wife was picking up the transmission. And she was with their daughter, and he brought his son, and like they really dropped their life to get us back on the water again. And
Wow.
yeah, he ended up paying for it, but he's got a new transmission in there, and so that was great to see Rick and catch up again. We at one point we were he's like, oh, I'll give you guys a ride in, and so the whole crew is on the flatbed of his big Dodge pickup, like cruising to Port Townsend. And I'm like, these are the kinds of things that you never would have thought would have happened on a delivery, like the level
Totally.
of yeah.
Love those experiences. Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
So good, going strong. Cool, guys. Well, oh my gosh, this is so great. I'd love to do another day sometime. Wait, so I guess you're gonna be back in the Northwest in Christmas time?
No, Jess is going to fly out here soon. She's going to make a trip home.
Okay.
I did a trip home a couple months
He's had
ago.
several, so it's my turn.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
My parents needed me, and that's our rule, right? If our kids, our parents, our health, whatever. So I made a couple trips back, two actually, one in French Polynesia, one in New Zealand. Now it's Jess's turn, so she's going to be home for 2 weeks.
Just a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, and as we're planning this, like I'm getting ready to
book
the
trip.
tickets, and my middle son calls and says, "Hey, I'm getting married
in September
in Minnesota." I'm like, what? So then I'm like, do I want to postpone, make it all one? So I'm like, no, we're just gonna.
I encourage her to go because these are important trips, as much as we like.
It's time for me to go home.
Yeah, we'd love to keep this dream going, and which means we got to take breaks.
Yeah.
And we got to, family.
That's one of the big things.
To not burn out and to,
that we've really talked about is we need to have these breaks.
Yeah. And that relates to all of those questions that I just had and all those other things.
Yeah.
You mentioned. Like this is what it looks like making it last. So heck yeah, guys. I'm so stoked for you. And yeah, this is awesome. I'm well, hopefully I'll get to see you face to face, not too distant in the future.
Same here, Reese. It's always fun and learnful, and enjoy our friendship and work with you. I appreciate your encouragement, and thanks for checking in, and great to connect again.
Awesome. Well, Coddy-Wobble.
Coddy-Wumple.
Yeah.
Coddy-Wumple.
Yeah. We'll Coddy-Wumple on.
Coddy-Wumple on, guys.
Nice to see you, Reese.
See ya.
Take care.